tobacco. And so without further ado, I'd love to highlight our incredible schools that went above and beyond. And so first we have Thunderbolt Elementary raising over $22,000 for the American Heart Association. If you'll come on up. Yay. Congratulations. Thank you guys. I will take your picture. I don't get to be in it. Take your picture over here. And then while we're taking their picture, I'll call up Orange Park Elementary, who raised over $21,000 for the American Heart Association. Hello, how are you? Yay, good job as always. Lucky you. You just hop in there with them. I'm just kidding. And then while he's getting his picture, I'll call up Lake Asbury Elementary, who raised over $7,000 for the American Heart Association. Wow, it was really here in an instant to see you guys. So. And then I'm super excited to announce that we had incredible participation this year. Going forward, we're looking at all elementary schools participating, and I wanted to highlight Green Cove Springs Junior High as a school who participated with us in the middle schools. I'm looking forward to furthering our mission in the middle and high schools as well. They raised over $800 for the American Heart Association. I'm okay. Oh, it's okay. It's you guys. It's you guys. But a round of applause, a phenomenal job to all of Clay County. I'm lucky to work with all of you guys. Thank you so much for your support in this program. I really appreciate it.
All right, next up is the recognition of Florida Department of Education's designated schools of excellence with Mr. Superintendent Broski. Sorry.
Okay, each year the Florida Department of Education gives an award for schools called a School of Excellence. You may say, well, what is a School of Excellence? Right, a School of Excellence is a score of the 80th percentile for these schools. So these are schools that have consistently done an awesome job when it comes to student achievement. A lot to be proud of. Makes them one of the top schools in the state. So without further ado, first we have Fleming Island Elementary. I'll do an impromptu what I think about when I think of each school. How's that? So Fleming Island Elementary, a fantastic parent involvement program at Fleming Island Elementary. It's a great place for students to go to school. I don't know if you guys have ever been there, but it's fantastic. Mallory and crew do a fantastic job, so thank you. Next, we have Oakleaf High School. Come on. Oakleaf High School is bigger than most cities in the state of Florida. Justin Fluent, outstanding principal, does a fantastic job. High school principal is like a mayor of a small city with a lot of things going on. To be a mayor, you got to be everything to everybody, and he does that. He's got great people that work there. Oakleaf's a great place for kids to go to school. Thank you, Justin. Next, we have Fleming Island High School. Tommy Pittman, one of the most recognizable people in our county for sure. How long have you been here, Tommy? Fleming Island. 14 years at Fleming Island. He is Mr. Fleming Island High School. It's a great place for students to go to school. Lakeside Junior High, come on down. Okay, My very first job, little trivia, my very first job, Lakeside Junior High. I was a teacher there for 10 years. It's a fantastic place. Thank you, Justin. Thunderbolt Elementary. Come on down. One of the many great schools in that area. Next, we have Orange Park Elementary. If you've ever seen the traffic pattern at Orange Park Elementary for dismissal and goings, it's a work of art, right? If you've ever been down where the school is located, does a fantastic job there. Thank you. Patterson Elementary School. Mr. O'Brien couldn't be with us. And Mr. O'Brien's also a teacher. He teaches college at night. I don't think people recognize that. Patterson, one of the top performing schools in the entire district, entire state for that matter. Lake Asbury Elementary School, School of Excellence. Ms. Meadows does a great job there. It's, how many people realize there's a lot of construction in that area? And there's a lot of homes going in over there. So kind of managing all of that, fantastic job. Thank you. Next, we have Shadowlawn Elementary. While they're making their way up, let me just say the culture at Shadowlawn Elementary is fantastic. You know that I just love my wife, Sue, when she has the option of what school to go to for like the first day of school, she always goes where? Shadowlawn. The environment there is fantastic for kids and for families. Thank you. Last but certainly not least, Discovery Oaks Elementary. Again, Jim Hareholtz, principal. Jim, do you mind if I share your story with everybody? Jim's a former superintendent from Ohio that came down here, became a teacher first, then AP, dean, then AP, then principal. So when you come to Clay, you got to earn your stripes like a tiger, for sure. So congratulations, Jim. All right, Sabrina, get us organized.
All right, up next we have our school showcase, Drs. Inlet Elementary with Principal Carolyn Ayers.
All right, good evening, everyone. Thank you, members of the board, Superintendent Broski, and all of our staff and families that came out to support us this evening. I want you to take a minute and think back to your first day of school, your new backpack, the clothes that you wear, and all of that nervous excitement. Elementary school is our foundation of learning. It builds skills to carry us through life. We're going to take it back a little bit. That Drs. Inlet is rooted in tradition. It's come a long way since that picture of a one-room schoolhouse that you see, but some things never change. It's a generational school where families come to thrive. And fun fact, we have one of the first post offices in Clay County located on our campus. Not only are we an A school, but we have a commitment to academic achievement and growth. And we're also a Title I school. This means that we're committed to serving our most vulnerable populations, ensuring every single child regardless of their background, has access to a high-quality education. This year, in fact, we've introduced a new partnership with the University of North Florida, and this collaboration directly benefits our students, helping to shape the students and the lives of our future educators. On our campus, we also have students from Ridgeview High School's transition program, the Bears. This program teaches them life skills for students who are 18 to 22 years old. Our success is not an accident. It's the result of an approach that combines academic rigor, social supports, and innovative partnerships through our community. None of this would be possible without our staff. They're not simply employees, they are our heart and soul of the school, as you can see tonight, and we couldn't do it without them. In fact, several of our staff and district office members are former Mustangs themselves, including our own assistant principal, Mr. Boyson. But don't just take it from me. We asked them, why Doctors Inlet? This is what they say. I love looking at Doctors Inlet because I truly feel supported. It's a place where you feel valued, encouraged, and inspired to give your best every single day. As a whole, Doctors Inlet operates with a student-first mindset. All the support we receive as educators is rooted in our students getting the best possible education. From administration to assistants, custodians, and SROs, everyone works together toward that same goal. We are truly one big family united for a purpose. Now, here's a little bit more about us. Our goal is to create not just a learning environment about textbooks and tests. It's about curiosity and connection. Each year, we've consistently improved our campus with updated classrooms, new outdoor spaces, and creating a physical environment that matches our educational vision. And part of our success is our incredible Mustang mentoring program. Our faculty and staff take their time to mentor over 45 students each year for the past 4 years to build strong relationships with students. But this doesn't stop with our staff. Our peer mentoring program and reading buddies empower our older students to lead by example and causing a ripple effect of leadership across our school. But the most powerful success is our students' belief in themselves. Our students show high levels of confidence, both in their own abilities and the relationships they built with others. In fact, our most recent survey results show 90% of students agreed with statements about their sense of self-worth and belonging. Creativity is a life skill. In addition to our academic rigor, we believe in creating unique opportunities for our students to discover their passions and talents. Our campus is a buzz of activities, from our collaboration with the math team, the creative expressions that you saw tonight with our art and music, the leadership of our safety pros, and the spirit of our track team, just to name a few. We are proud to offer a wide range of experiences both in and out of the classroom, including Florida Chamber projects, clubs, memorable events like field trips, field days, and everyone's favorite, our annual Reindeer Games competition. We ensure that every student has a chance to shine both in and out of the classroom. Our results show that focused efforts are paying off and our students are making significant progress. Being recognized as the School of the Month has led into an increase of our family engagement, strengthening those home and school partnerships. In fact, this year, we had 312 people attend our Donuts for Grownups for event. And that breaks last year's record of 280 for a small school of 535. For the past 8 years, we've maintained an impressive 96% staff retention rate. This stability fosters consistent and nurturing environment for our students. Lastly, we are honored to be a Purple Star school, and our recognition is unwavering support for our military families who give so much to our country. but one of our proudest achievements is our incredible growth with our community. Over the past 8 years, we've expanded from just 3 partnerships when I started to a network of over 20 local businesses and organizations. Our community is woven into the fabric of our school. Programs like Blessings in a Backpack and partnerships with the Salvation Army ensure our students have the support they need both at home and at school. Our local businesses such as Ilianos and Hibernia Baptist Church have become key partners in supporting initiatives and such as our Back to School Batch and our Staff Appreciation Week. We celebrate our community with events like our annual Santa Breakfast, Veterans Day celebration, and bringing families together for memorable events like Dancing with Daughters and our graduation walks. These are our building blocks to help share and enrich our community. Before we conclude, I would like to emphasize, while we celebrate our achievements, we are always looking to improve. This year, we are specifically focusing on 2 key priorities: increasing our reading proficiency and our student attendance. To help us meet these goals, we have launched our Mustang Mornings Matter and Saddle Up for Success. These programs are designed to build a culture where every day counts and every moment is a learning opportunity. We are confident through the continued collaboration that we can achieve these goals. While I could sit here and talk about my love of Dr. Zinla all night long, I'll leave you with this quote. As B.B. King once said, "The beautiful thing about learning is that nobody can take it away from you." Thank you again for your support of Dr. Zinla.
I love that quote. Thank you. It's so true. This is the last call for comment cards, and seeing none in my hand that are on specific agenda items, we're going to move on to our public hearing. So at this time, one second, we are going to open the public hearing to approve as advertised the revisions to the School Board Policy 2411, School Counseling. If you want to make a comment, please make your way to the podium. Seeing none, I'm going to close the public comment. Do I have a motion to approve the public or the advertised revision to the School Board Policy 2411, School Counseling?
I move to approve.
I'll second.
I have a motion from Ms. Clark, a second from Ms. Gilhausen. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Vote carries 4-0.
I think it's an error.
Ms. Bonnie, you want to? Okay.
Is not allowing me to vote.
Give us 1 minute. Mm-mm. You want me to move on to the next one while you? Okay. So next up, we have D2, Human Resource Special Action A. Can I get a motion to approve?
I'll move approval.
Got a motion from Ms. Gilhausen. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
All right, any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 4-0. All right, so I'm going to note that we have a proclamation, number 26-06, to establish October 23rd to the 31st, 2025 as Red Ribbon Week, celebrated in schools and communities across the nation. And at this time, we are going to adopt the consent agenda. Can I get a motion to approve?
I'll move approval.
Got a motion from Ms. Gilhousen. Can I get a second?
Second.
Got a second from Mr. Alvaro. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 4-0. All right, at this time, we will be doing public comment. You have 3 minutes. Please state your name and address on file, or address when you come to the microphone. We're going to start off with Sharon Walsh. On deck will be Miss Barbara McKenzie.
Good evening, school board members. My name is Sharon Walsh, and my address is on file. So a week ago tonight, a facilitator and I was leaving a high school, kind of late. It was actually about 7:25. And we're in the parking lot, and we're putting stuff away, and we realized that somebody's coming out of the building. Now, we'd done a sweep, and we were positive that we had all of our teachers. But so we did a little bit of a panic of who was coming out. It was actually a teacher at this high school. And as we were talking to her, she explained that she'd been teaching at that high school for 21 years. And when I commented that this was like way past leaving time, like nearly 5 hours, she said, yes, but I allow my students to keep turning in assignments for mastery. And the grading period is coming to an end. And I give every student personalized feedback on every assignment. And then she took it a step further. She takes every one of those assignments that she got to mastery. She uses that data to develop rigorous lesson plans that will go in and tackle any weakness that those students have so that they come out strong. And as she was talking, and she was so passionate about her school, her subject, it dawned on me that this 21 veteran, in the budget that's been proposed, would be getting an extra $40 per week with our new contract. And I was wondering tonight, when you think about this, and she's not alone, you know that. Anybody who's been in classroom, Mr. Brodsky, you know, teachers, we don't leave until the job is done. We don't clock out at our quitting time. We don't, because job's not done. I know Brenda Troutman agrees with me on that one. And I was wondering could you find some extra money in that budget bucket for us? Thank you.
Ms. McKenzie, you're up. And Christine DeVault, you're on deck.
Good evening. Thank you, Mr. Brodsky, board members. My name is Barbara McKenzie. And I'm a 25-plus year veteran teacher with a master's degree in education. I'm not a second career person. I'm a teacher.
Can you state your address, please?
It's on file. I have one small credit card. I have a mortgage. I have house bills. I have student debt I can't pay. I drive a 12-year-old car I inherited from my mom. I'm very frugal. Because the school board chooses to pay lip service to its teachers, nice emails saying how much we're appreciated, statements about how teachers work hard for the students in the county. I can't pay my bills. Financial companies don't take emails as payment. I don't want to find another career. I should be looking at drop by now, but I can't. I can't afford to retire because I can't afford to put the money away for retirement. And I'm tired. I currently work 3 jobs, ladies and gentlemen. I'm at work by 8 because I was taught to be early is to be on time. I work until 3:50. I clock into job number 2. I work an additional 2 hours. Then I drive like a madwoman to the local library or to a fast food restaurant with Wi-Fi, and I tutor a Clay County student who doesn't get enough services in his regular school day, and that can take between 1 to 3 hours all the time. I'm tired. My day doesn't end when I get home. I don't get to put my feet up, relax, watch the game. I hate that during football season. I have papers to grade, lessons to plan, emails to write. By the time I'm done, I'm tired. I crawl into bed for a horrible night's sleep. Stress and anxiety about work and bills and no life makes sleep no fun. I'm tired. The board claims that times are tight and everything costs more, and no one disputes that in this era. Well, the cost of living for a teacher has gone up, but our pay has not equaled that cost of living. An extra $800 a year is a slap in the face. You don't want to be there for us. It shows a lack of responsibility and respect to the teachers and students. We've been instrumental in making Clay County a top 10 county in Florida. We helped put Clay County on the top for civics. We have so many schools of excellence, but this school board does nothing to reward our hard work and diligence. And I'm asking you, please make your teachers a priority, because we make our children a priority, and we would just like the same in return.
Christine, you are up next. And then Miss Liz Crane, you're on deck. And I'm sorry if I get some of these wrong. I'm trying to read handwriting, so I do apologize.
Hey, good evening. My name is Christine Duvall. I stand before you today as a nurse, a mother, and an advocate for the students at Lake Asbury Junior High, and
Can
for
you
all
please
that.
state your address? I'm
Oh,
sorry.
my address is on file.
Okay.
Okay, great. Lake Asbury Junior High, and for all Clay County students. As one of the nurses at LAJH, I am here today to share concerns regarding the growing concern of physical health as well as mental health needs of our students. With the addition of the 6th grade this year, our enrollment has increased to approximately 1,500 students. Along with this growth, we are seeing a significant rise in students presenting with health concerns such as diabetes, medication administration needs, accidental injuries, and mental health challenges, including anxiety, depression, and self-harming behaviors. At present, many of our students require consistent support, yet access to the resources remains limited. Guidance counselors do an excellent job within their scope, but additional mental health professionals are needed to adequately meet the demand. The recent increase in crisis situations underscores the importance and the strengthening support structures for both immediate care and long-term care of the students' well-being. I respectively request that the board consider additional staffing, resources, and education, whether in the form of school-based, a mental health counselor, social workers, or extra assistants full-time in the clinic to better serve our students. Supporting the need will help ensure that our students are successful, not only academically, socially, emotionally, and future community leaders as yourselves. Statistics shows that these students, not only themselves, but family members, are dealing with the opioid addiction. About half of these students' parents overdose from the age of 25 to 44 years of age. Did you know that in most counties in every state of the U.S., the location chosen for jails and prisons to be built is solely based off the local dropout rate? I propose we have more education for the students in regards to opioid addiction, prevention. As Nancy Reagan stated, just say no. Because of social media, bullying is now unlimited. It is located outside the classrooms and on multiple social platforms. I know that you and I have less than what these students, that you and I had less than what these students have, but that doesn't mean that they should go without like we did. Because when you know better, you do better. And I just want it better for our community and our kids. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Crane. And then up next will be Adam Warren.
Good evening. Good evening, Liz Crane. You have my address on file. Thank you. Do you want to remain an A district? I want you to consider that question during our employees' conversations tonight. As you know, our employees work well above and beyond their contractual hours. They do this for our students in Clay County. However, we also need to look at reality. Our employees, just like yourselves, have financial obligations. Last week, on average, I worked 20 to 30 hours past my contractual hours. Financially, that equates to over $1,000. Loss of wages to me personally. That equates to $1,000 in savings for you. So one might wonder, why do we do it? Well, for some, they really enjoy creating engaging lessons with all the bells and whistles. I'm one of them, gonna be honest. For some, they feel the pressure to perform well for their principal. For some, they are on PDPs, and if they don't perform well, they're going to lose their job. So this begs the question again, what is the ROI, the return of investment for all these additional hours worked? My brother is a financial advisor and works very long hours. His ROI are bonuses and large commissions. The ROI for school employees are high test scores. The ROI of high test scores belongs to the school board. The ROI is accepting congratulations at school board association meetings. If our rank is high enough, you receive a plaque. The ROI are headlines in local media outlets and banners across the school board website. The ROI is for you. You receive the accolades. You receive the awards. So when the awards and rankings come out and you are very proud of yourselves, what's the result for the employees? The employees are expected to continue to do more with less. So I ask again, do you want to be an A district? Our high performers are leaving. They are going to the north. They're going across the river. Why? Because of pay. Because they will be appreciated. Because there will be gratitude. The salary proposal from the board is abysmal. The Office of Economic and Demographic Research website states last year you were paid $46,544. And this year, your pay increased. I repeat, increased. You were paid to $48,011. Financially, that's an increase of $1,467 or 3% raise. That is almost 3 times more than what you are offering your employees. It is long past the time for you to pay your employees for their hard work and dedication they put in for you to receive awards and accolades. We are not able to pay our bills with website banners and plaques. Thank you.
Adam Warren. Econova, you're on deck.
Good evening, Adam Warren. My address is on file. I come to this board tonight as I have done many times before. I feel I have always come to you out of respect and patience and out of good faith that my speaking would help shed light on safety issues within the county. I've also given praise when praise to the board is due. And I've been willing to keep quiet with some issues when they needed more time to work things out. I've personally had multiple meetings with assistants to this board, all in an effort to keep Clay County safe and not to continue to give us a black eye. But tonight, I want to make sure that the issues with the transportation department aren't swept under the rug like so many other issues have been. I want it to be on record that this board hired a gentleman that was unqualified to run the department. He came from a neighboring county that was happy to see him go. He personally ran this department into the ground. The board finally accepted his resignation weeks ago, and he hasn't worked in all that time, but yet we're paying him through tomorrow. It sounds like we have a lot of money that could be going to the teachers instead of people that don't deserve it. Like so many other issues with this county or other employees, they've chose to just keep this quiet, not say anything, to not bring any other light, and when they should have probably fired him on the spot or moved on from him. All the way through today, we still have issues with the app not working. It was completely down yesterday. A bus that was not called in showed up to pick up my middle schooler, and it was 30 minutes late. I was not notified that it was going to be a different bus. Thankfully, it was the same driver, so we felt comfortable, but no notification was given that it was going to be a different bus and it was going to be 30 minutes late. The bus was early today, early for the standards that it was supposed to be there, but it was still 8 minutes late from when it was actually supposed to be there. And you have kids running because they have no clue what time the bus is actually going to be there. The app does not work. And that was another thing that this gentleman, I think, brought on to us. And, it's just, excuse me, it's like I've said many times before, it's a safety issue. We have kids standing out there, they don't know what bus to get on, it's constantly late, and I don't have any proof, but I do know that the kids are riding 3 to a seat on most of the buses, and I'm pretty sure there's only supposed to be 2 to a seat. So we're obviously short drivers, we're overloading the routes, we're overloading the buses, and we're putting way too much on the bus drivers. And all of this to say, we still don't have a good way to track the kids. Thankfully, I have heard that we have an interim in the place. I've personally spoke with her a couple of times. I think she's going to do a great job. She doesn't have huge shoes to fill, unfortunately, but I think she's going to do good. I really do hope that she does, and I really hope that y'all take this into consideration moving forward. Thank you.
Ekanova. And Christine Donovan on deck. Ekanova.
Ekonova, address on file. To start off with, yesterday we got word of a potential ICE operation happening here and down in Tuaplaca and Ormond Beach. So today I spent the entire day watching closely and monitoring the situation to make sure that your students do not get kidnapped off the streets and lost into the detention system. And another issue on rights, retaliation, and free speech. Since the murder happened after the last regular meeting, it needs to be brought up here, even though it has been over almost a month since it happened. It has been extremely disappointing, the outrage levied against teachers and others across the nation. And for what? Because you all finally felt the barest iota of the harms that marginalized communities have felt for centuries due to the hands of colonization, patriarchy, and other fundamental issues. School board, state legislators, the state commissioner, all gunning to punish as many people as possible for not prostrating themselves in reverence for their Messiah because people chose to voice their opinions on the murder. It is curious how the reaction of the nation to these comments compared to, say, Osama bin Laden. Make no mistake, this comparison is intentional. Charlie Kirk was a Christian nationalist, white supremacist, eugenicist, fascist, who was not the champion of free speech as many claim. He was a terrorist to many, many Americans. Do not forget, Kirk advocated for school shootings, saying that some case dying is a necessary cost to the conservative interpretation of the Second Amendment. Do not be surprised when many, many Americans of these marginalized communities voice their opinions as a result of this. Since teaching has been apparently become political in recent years, where was the outrage when the chair of the Clay Republican Party called for open warfare against anyone on the left? This is relevant considering we have some members here who are part of the statewide Republican Party. And dangerous rhetoric with the open carry ruling of recent weeks. And how about outrage when board members openly advocate for trans genocide, for anti-accessibility, and other issues? We need to do more to protect our teachers, to protect their rights, and to protect our voices when they speak up. And we need to bring back our teachers and staff here and statewide and across the entire nation. Thank you.
Christine Donovan.
My name is Christine Donovan. My address is on file with you guys. I come to you guys as a mom of a student that was at Lake Asbury Junior High that is no longer with us as of 6 months ago. When he passed, I had no idea the amount of bullying that is going on at that school. I say that because it's not taken seriously. I told the detectives, I told the teachers, I told the principal just how bad it was and that it was coming to us after he passed. We had no idea it was going on. He would say something to us and bring it up, and I'm like, buddy, what do I need to do? Do I need to get involved with this right now? No, Mom, I got this. But he also dealt with mental health for a very long time, and there's no support at that school for mental health either. The kids there are scared to tell the teachers because there's no repercussions to anything that happens. The bullies, they just keep bullying. I told the detective and the teachers, 5 different parents came to me with one name, and none of those parents know each other. Nope, couldn't have been her because she's a straight A student. She's a teacher helper. Okay, but there's a difference between physical bullying and mental verbal bullying. And I'm gonna tell you right now, if it was physical, I'd be getting called down to the school because he was not a small boy. It was mental and it was verbal. And something has got to be done to help our kids. He can't speak anymore, but I am his voice. I will speak for him. I will tell you that that school also gave no support for the parents. My 8-year-old son's elementary school, Rideout Elementary, they're the ones that were there for us. They're the ones that still support us. Something has got to be done. I started a Facebook page for him, and it goes back years and years and years, the amount of bullying that is going on. We send our kids to school to be safe. They're not. They're not safe. Thank you.
Brittany Sills. And Miss Judith Chappelle, you're on deck. Brittany. Is it Sills?
Good evening. My name is Brittany Sills, and my address is on file. I'm a parent of a child who will be school age in a few years, with another on the way. We chose to raise our family here in Clay County because it's always felt like home. My family grew up in this county, and I graduated here from Fleming Island High School, and we know so many amazing educators that dedicate their time and resources to pour into the children in our community. We attend church with many wonderful Clay County teachers, and my sister-in-law is a Clay County teacher as well. So it's been very disheartening to hear of an educator named Mr. Evan Gold of Lake Asbury Junior High that's been reinstated after making public comments that threaten certain populations of students due to their protected medical status. Mr. Gold's concerning comments were posted on the Clay County Education Association public Facebook page discussing unvaccinated students. Evan Gold stated he, quote, hopes the unvaccinated die quickly, unquote. This public declaration by Mr. Gold was made on September 9th and was supported by the Teachers Union President, Rena Lee Pava. These comments made by someone who is supposed to be a custodian of our children are disturbing and unacceptable. There should be zero tolerance for this type of behavior from individuals commissioned with the education of our children. My husband and I are here tonight to advocate on behalf of all students and parents, no matter their medical status or religious beliefs. Mr. Gold's permanent release from our school district should be considered by all school board members and our superintendent. There's no room for nuance on this. He said what he said, and as of right now, he still does represent the school district. But you have the responsibility to students, parents, and the other incredible educators in our county to change that. Thank you.
Miss Judith.
Good afternoon. My name is Judith Chappelle, and my address is on file. When I was getting dressed today for today's meeting, I stood in front of my closet, torn between which shirt to wear that represents my many roles in the community. Moms for Liberty, Precinct Committee Woman for the Republican Party, Vice President of the Federated Republican Women of Clay County, the Trump Club. But tonight I chose the shirt that means the most to me, the one that represents and says, Mother, G-Mom, because it is, of all of my identities, it is the one of mother and grandmother that I speak to you as. It is the one that is of the conviction and the passion that I speak to you from. I am here tonight because I am utterly horrified and heartbroken by the words of Mr. Evan Gould, a Clay County teacher who wished that unvaccinated children would die quickly. The shock and disgust that I felt upon hearing this cannot be overstated. It is unfathomable that any adult, let alone an educator, entrusted with the lives and the future of our children could harbor such cruel and hatred thoughts. This is not just a lapse in judgment, it is a chilling betrayal for everything that we stand for as a community. Our children are precious, they are innocent, and they deserve to be nurtured and protected and cherished by every adult in their lives, especially a teacher. For someone in a position of authority to wish death upon them is not only appalling, it is unforgivable. It shakes the very foundation of the trust that parents and grandparents and families place in our schools. After the tragedy involving Charlie Kirk, with other teachers making reckless comments, and the Commissioner of Education made it clear that, yeah, educators have First Amendment rights, but those rights do not give license to undermine the safety and trust that students and families place in the community. I am pleading with this board, do not let this stand. Mr. Gould's words are a stain on this community and a threat to every child in his care. He must be removed from his position immediately. Our children and our teachers, our children and our families deserve better. Tonight, I speak to you not just as a community leader, but as a mother and as a grandmother. I urge you to act swiftly and decisively. Show our children and our families and our community that we do not tolerate cruelty and hatred in our schools. Let us stand together for the safety and dignity and the future of every child.
Tanya Kaskin.
My name is Tanya Casson, and my address is on file. Good evening, member of the Clay County School Board. I would like to speak to you tonight about a very serious concern regarding one of our educators, Mr. Evan Gould, a teacher at Lake Asbury Junior High. It came to light that Mr. Gould made public Facebook comments stating that he hopes the unvaccinated die quickly. This was not just an offhand comment. His statement was wishing death on members of our community, potentially the very students in his classroom, and many of his colleagues. I wanted to be clear. These remarks are not a reflection of the many caring and wonderful teachers we are blessed to have here in Clay. We have incredible educators who are dedicated their lives to students and their profession, and that should not be overshadowed by one individual. I understand that Mr. Gould was suspended for a very short amount of time, and I understand that he is back in the classroom now. I do believe that was a decision made by Mr. Broski, so I'm going to speak to you now, school board, as to what maybe you can do to help us out. The principles of professional conduct in the education in Florida and the Clay County district policy prohibit actions like these, especially wishing harm or worse death on students and coworkers. It is unacceptable. By his very own words, Mr. Gould has violated both state and local standards. I appreciate that this matter has been referred to the Office of Professional Practices, but let this be clear. A referral is not a resolution. His actions were, without question, a direct violation of the Clay County School District policy. And under that policy, the school board has the authority to dismiss teachers who engage in such conduct. We entrust our children in the care of educators who are supposed to nurture, guide, and protect them. Mr. Gould's comments destroyed all that trust. Trust with the students, trust with the parents, and trust with the fellow teachers. That kind of damage cannot be overlooked or brushed aside. Tonight, I am asking the Clay County School Board to take immediate action. Please uphold the standards that you have set for this district. Please send a clear message to teachers that teachers who openly wish death on students or colleagues have no place in Clay County classrooms. God bless you. Have a good night.
Thank you. Before we move on, I wanted to have our attorney, normally we don't comment on public comment, but I felt that this is necessary to do so because I agree with a lot of your statements that you spoke tonight regarding an individual who decided to take their thoughts and feelings to a public platform and talk about children and the way that they did. So I wanted our attorney to weigh in on this for various reasons, but if you could, Mr. Blocker.
Yes, ma'am. So thank you for asking. So the board has a policy, it's 1140.01, it's disciplinary suspension without pay. So as part of that policy, I can read from it. So essentially, the board has delegated its authority. In the past year, y'all been going through all your policies and revising it. So as part of that, and I'll read from the policy, for disciplinary actions other than termination, the school board delegates that authority to the superintendent in order to facilitate personal management and to provide a conductive appearance. So really, the basis of that is to, y'all can't necessarily hear every single disciplinary issue that comes up. There's a variety of different matters that come up, and y'all have a number of employees. So this was investigated at the time. It did fall under the purview per y'all's board policies of the superintendent. A decision was made. I did speak with an attorney today from the Department of Education and the Professional Practice Services. So this particular employee was referred to there. They will conduct their own investigation. The board, and through the superintendent, has the ability to make hiring and firing decisions, but y'all do not control the licensure, which goes through the Department of Education. So the Professional Practice Services will conduct their own investigation of the conduct of this individual, and they can decide whether they want to withdraw his license or not. So again, at this point, it's in their hands to evaluate whether his career should end as a teacher licensed in Florida. So does that help answer the question, ma'am?
It does, and I also want to bring it back to the board and discuss maybe revisiting that policy, maybe adding some verbiage within that policy, allowing the superintendent to make those decisions with a 5-day or under 5-day suspension, and then allowing some verbiage, which we can discuss, where the board can essentially have the ultimate say if we don't agree, because I know other than that, it does come to the board and we decide if we accept the superintendent's recommendation or not. So what I recommend is that we bring this policy back and have a discussion at the workshop, whether we want to add verbiage or not, especially since Ms. Hanson is not here this evening, but to either keep it, change it, fix it. For the public's sake, we approved 544 policies. And as your policymaker, I just want to say, I have always said, anytime we approve something, I want to follow up on it and make sure, the follow-up game is what I call it. I want to make sure whatever we implement is something that is beneficial for students, that helps out teachers, and is good for Clay County. So we may have instances where we have to bring a policy back to discuss it. There might be situations where we have to revisit things. So I'm not sure if this is one of them. I would suggest that we look at that and have a board discussion on it, moving it to the workshop. If you all are in consensus for that or discussion, or
I just had a quick question. Can't see you guys with this up here. Just in preparation for that, if we could get an official opinion from the attorney as far as how that policy and any potential changes could have any legal issues with the way that HR is supposed to be run. I'd also be interested to know what other counties are doing as far as that goes across the state.
Yes, ma'am, absolutely. If I can, we can get that to you. What might be best is, since we're going through Neola, they have a couple different versions of that
That would be
policy.
great, yeah.
It's been over a year since y'all evaluated that policy, and most of the discussion, I looked back at the notes, was really, there's a number of disciplinary issues that just are not necessarily going to come. The other issue is, you could potentially have someone on leave for 28 days of paid leave because the board meets at certain times. So just as a public interest matter, when y'all are wrestling with tight budgets, that is a policy concern as well that was evaluated at the time based on. So we can absolutely bring that back up to you as well. Just to address one point, because the discipline has been handled at this point, regardless of what the opinion is of how it was handled, it has been handled at this point. Now it's been turned over to the state, so it'd be most appropriate to let the state handle it. Then going forward, if there are future cases like this, that we want to make sure that we put the proper controls and policy changes into place so it's addressed in a way that's appropriate. We can make sure that we do that kind of going forward. So there's not a double jeopardy issue or something like that that we're dealing with,
Thank you.
if that makes sense.
And the verbiage could be to where we aren't waiting 28 days. See what I'm saying? So that, but that's something that we can discuss so that, because we do meet twice a month, but the verbiage, like I said, could be fixed to where there isn't a delay or a long.
Correct.
Like
And part of the policy reason, again, it's been a year since y'all have made this. The board is not, to be very clear, y'all are not up here making these decisions. That's why you have the policy. So this is not a board's decision. However, part of that is, again, there are times where the superintendent has to act on y'all's behalf. That's per statute. This is one of those situations where, one of the rare times I think we've seen this issue come up where it maybe fell, into one of those categories. So,
That was my main concern, was just being sure that we're being mindful of what our role is as the board versus the superintendent with day-to-day management and hiring and firing.
yes, ma'am.
So can we bring it back for discussion for a workshop? All right, Ms. Clark?
Sure.
All righty.
I do agree, though. This is why we have legal experts and we have multiple levels. We don't do the day-to-day operation. And we have to be very careful with the words that are used to describe what an individual says, because what I've heard tonight is not all of what was posted. So we need to be very clear, very careful.
Also, like our attorney said, there was other options for that policy that was not presented. So that's another thing I would like to look at, because there are specific roles, but three to five, majority, we as a board decide some of those things. So I just would like to revisit it. And like I said, since Ms. Hanson isn't here and it's become an issue, a very, very large issue with emails and social media and whatnot, I think it's something that it's worth looking at. All right, so moving on, we have Ms. Kidwell for a CCEA update.
So I'm Vicki Kidwell, the president of the union. When these are some of our teachers here that have come up to support us asking in bargaining for a better increase in salary. So good evening, superintendent and members of the board. CCA is grateful for these 3 minutes to share our teachers' perspectives. I see you already started the clock, so I guess I better talk fast. I want to start by expressing my genuine appreciation. You heard our concerns about salary compression and the unfairness of veteran teacher pay, and your proposal showed that you took those words to heart, and I appreciate you for that. But we cannot accept your offer for several reasons. CCA represents all instructional staff, and the Clay County District School proposal does not provide any compensation increase for over 45% of the educators in Clay. And while we know that salary compression is unfair, this proposal would also be unfair to over 1,280 teachers who are struggling with rising costs. As my mom always said, 2 wrongs do not make a right. CCA has never and will never willingly accept a proposal that does not strive for fairness in compensation. Next, we feel it is prudent and possible for Clay County District schools to provide reasonable and fair salary increases, even though we're in a budget crisis. To offer a mere $27,000 from Clay's budget leftovers does not show intent to budget for teachers. Budgets are about priorities. Clay County District schools must choose to build their budget with salary increases to retain essential personnel and keep Clay safe, stable, and competitive. We ask you to prioritize salaries in your budget instead of offering teachers a bucket of leftovers. While we maintain that teachers are the heart of safe and secure schools and should be a priority in expending current millage funds, we have heard you, and we have provided alternate funding since you are remiss and not wanting to use millage funds. I have emailed you all an explanation of the funding proposals, including using only 0.68% of the 5.68% fund balance to fund teacher salaries. I want to let you know that after looking at your proposal, we did crunch the numbers, and your proposal offered between 0.82% and 1.6% for years 10 and up, but below 10 years, no increase. We're asking for a modest proposal, 1.4% to 3% for 21 years and up. We feel that's doable. We have given you exactly where to find the funds. So even though my time is up, I beg you, please, read the email. We found the funds for you, and it's in the budget, and you can do it. It's all about choices. We ask you, please, to make your teachers' budget priority. Thank you.
Great, I don't see Mr. Lonnie out in the audience, so we're going to go with the superintendent update and presentation.
All right, before we actually get to the presentation, just a couple comments. First, in regard to the employee situation, I just want everyone to know that we don't condone such behavior and that an investigation was conducted. And not only did that, it was analyzed by 4 different attorneys to come up with that decision. But it has to be based on the substantiated facts of the case. In other words, the people that actually interview the employee, as well as other people related to the incident. So the attorneys were there for all of that. And in addition, after that occurs, you have to make a decision at the information that you have at the time. So that's why it was referred to professional practices. The matter is in their hands now, so thank you on that. In regard to our teachers, no doubt, I think the board wants to pay you more. I don't know if I can say that legally or not, but I did. But that's not the issue, right? When you look at what this board has done the last 4 years, $54 million in additional compensation is 2.5 times the record amount ever given in Clay County since the very beginning of the county. The other part of that I'd point out is that the proposal is based on our financial state that we're in. So it's not about budgeting for priorities, because you start there, and then when there's no money or a lack of money, then the budget gets formed. So I just would say that to the teachers. We totally understand. I truly mean that for all the board, and I don't think the board would mind me saying that on their behalf. It's not having the financial resources that everybody would love to have. So perhaps the direction should be going west in the commentary, because we would all love to do that. So in regard to today, we got our Schools of the Month, Super Students of the Month. Dads, take your child to school day, celebrate freedom, pink out games, all kinds of stuff happening. I truly love this month was the first time that we had students back, and what a welcome surprise that is to start off our meeting. So schools of the month, Charles E. Bennett. Let me tell you, Charles E. Bennett, super duper improvement at that school. Fleming Island Elementary is a perennial powerhouse. This month, it's Unity in Action is the theme for this month. So please vote for your favorite school. This is one of the joys of my entire day. You know, I get to do about 4% cool stuff, 96% not so cool stuff. One of those 4% is going out to give these awards to students. Here's Eliza. What a fantastic student. Outstanding representative. Every teacher raved about her and the way she is a leader at her school. Then you had Stephanie and Jetsabel, fantastic students. I thank the administration too for recognizing the students and bringing light to their outstanding contribution. Let's just say I was super impressed. I was at Tynes for this event, and I'm going to say we had about 400 dads dropping their kids off. We had a nice little picture station for them and all of that. The importance of dads, I can't underestimate that. Celebrate Freedom Week. We had that week. Of course, Constitution Day, as well as all the other days. Freedom Friday. We do a pretty good job in Clay County with civics and promoting this country, which is the best country known to man. Pink Out Day. We also try to bring forward the idea of being servant leaders, and certainly our athletic department does that. One way they do that is by raising donations for what's called Pink Out Games. You can see everybody in pink, and those are the Pink Out Games for this year that are listed up on the screen. It's a fantastic way for students to recognize those that are less fortunate and donate money to a cause that's very, very worthy. Upcoming events, you can see all of those events going. I'm not going to read them out to you. One of my favorites is the 8th, the Walk, Bike, and Roll to School Day. It's always a big event out at Oakley Village Elementary School. They really do it up right there. If you're looking for a good, like which one is the best, that's been my favorite over the years. And of course, Red Ribbon Week at the end of it. You can see School Bus Safety Week, all of those things. So a lot going on. I'm proud for the start of the school year and how well we're doing. And of course, when things happen, we'll deal with those accordingly. So thank you so much. Now, I do have one other thing, if I could, Madam Chair. A little, this person does not like being recognized, so I did not do this in the beginning because she's not going to want me to recognize her. But this is a person that is super, super duper to Clay County Schools, Miss Bonnie O'Nora. Let me just say this, Bonnie, and I mean this very sincerely, if you were to hear Bonnie speak to people who are upset that call on the phone, instant disarming of folks and a helpful voice. I can think of nobody that I trust more to represent Clay County Schools than Bonnie O'Nora. Truly, I will listen in amazement as to how well she represents our district. She's getting this award because she also went above and beyond, got some additional professional development. She's fully certified, one of few people in her position across the state that are certified by FSBA. Just, true dedication. I can tell you that Bonnie is a joy to work with. In fact, I told her she can't retire and told her that I was in HR, so I can lose paperwork as good as anybody because we want her to be around. She does fantastic work. So if I could, a big round of applause. I'd love to get a picture with this lady, Bonnie O'Nora. Come on up, Bonnie. Thank you, Madam Chair.
All right, so school board attorney remarks. Mr. Blocker. We're going to start with Ms. Clark for school board member remarks.
You sure you don't want to go first?
No, I'm good.
Oh, okay. We've never heard you go first, so just checking.
Well, last year you did when I wasn't chair. But
Right,
Go, go
well.
ahead. Go ahead.
We've had a lot of variety over the last month that has occurred, and I think it shows the quality of Clay County as far as how the employees and staff have handled things. We have so many wonderful teachers, and we recognize them. But unfortunately, it only takes 1 or 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 that cause a lot of national attention. And unfortunately, our receptionist, our HR department, everybody gets a little crazy and beats up on people. And I think we just all need to learn to tone it down and let's talk. Let's have dialogue. We say this over and over again, but we don't do it. And it's time to do it. So please try to keep that in mind. As far as teachers' pay, yeah, the last 4, maybe 5 years, we've done remarkable with what we've had. And it pains us not to be able to do as much this year. But we can't be compared to other counties. Number one, we have many older schools than some of the other counties. And the teachers also want a nice place to work. So there's a lot of money that has to go to maintaining those schools. So it's not, we can't compare county to county. I don't know what the issue is with our former transportation director, but I don't know why we're beating him up because he's not here anymore. But I think he did a terrific job based on the way things were when I came on 5 years ago. Randall was one that would get on a bus and drive it if we were short. The prior director did not. We were just so many emails, people complaining about the bus service when I came on. And as soon as he came on board, things changed. And he worked very hard. I never knew him to even take a day off. So if there were any eligible pay at the end, he was deserving of it for sure. So I think we're all aware that mental health is a big issue, and we've got to do something to help there. We know that personally, I'd like to see all the cell phones thrown out. I'd like to see the kids not even have access. But there's a lot of varying reasons, and we need to address them, and we need to get serious about it and not just talk about it. So last thing I'd like to say, and maybe it's more of a public service announcement, and I apologize. I am a breast cancer survivor, but I am one of those that did not feel comfortable doing chemo. And I had 4 doctors tell me I had to do chemo, I had to do chemo. And you don't tell a stubborn Swede that they have to do something. So when I chose not to, my oncologist said, well, would you mind taking a blood test? And it will tell us if it's even effective. I said, sure, I don't mind, easy. So I took it, and guess what? It wouldn't have done me any good. So for anybody out there, and I know somebody was told today what I was told, if you would just ask your doctor to have that blood test done, and it doesn't hurt to ask questions, get a couple of diagnoses, speak to all the experts until you're comfortable. But just do yourself a favor and ask for God's wisdom when you go through this. Thank you.
Mr. Rivera.
I wanted to say that while we don't want to infringe and nobody's freedom of speech, as public servants ourselves. We have a standard that we have to follow. So, all I'm saying is, I'm pretty sure if the person that made those comments go out in the streets and start saying those comments, nobody's going to do anything about it because there's nothing they can do. But when you work for a public institution, I think you have to have some regard to make comments that can cost the trust of our community. That's all I can say. Thank you.
Ms. Gilhausen. All right, so again, on teacher pay, when we had it, we gave it. I'll emphasize that again. The reality is times are hard, and we can only say that so much. And if you don't believe us, I know some of you were at the delegation meeting and heard it across the board in every government entity. We don't, again, comparing us to other counties, we are different. Taxing's different. What we tax on is different. There is a wide variety of reasons. But that being said, we do care about our teachers, and I know the last 3 years that we've done this, we've definitely tried to take care of our veteran teachers, and I don't. What comes out of bargaining is not always what we start with. So I'm just going to say that I personally care a lot about teachers. I have several family members that work in this district. So some of the comments are a little hurtful that that some of you don't think that we care, because we dang sure do. And like I said, when we had the money, we gave it. And when we have it again, we will give it. So I just really want to emphasize that strongly. That being said, this month has been a very long and crazy month with things that are going on in our country, and things that are, when things happen, people go stir crazy, I think. Some of us find out what really matters in life, and then others just like to take a pot and stir it. So I think that we all need to take this time to reflect and find the positives in everything, and be the positive light. Some of you think differently, but I do have to say that Charlie Kirk was an amazing man. And you can laugh all you want, but it's been positive, and he has made the changes to the world that we need to see. Kindness. So I encourage you all to be kind and nice. And with that, this meeting is adjourned.